Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Flurries and some light snow possible this morning, mainly to the north, but we've already seen a few flurries over Wake County. I'll let you know where we're seeing it right now and also how long it lasts this morning.
Patients assaulted. A third person came forward with allegations. The UNC Rex nurse that could face additional charges. And tuition reimbursement concerns. Carry tax money went to fund leaders' education. Why this has angered community members. Good morning and happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey. We have to start with meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Grant, I was just talking to you about some very light flurries in Raleigh right now.
That's right. I wanted to show you radar first because I want to kind of let you know where this is happening. This is dual Doppler 5000. You can see right over Wake County this very, very light green or light blue color here. That's going to be that very, very light precipitation falling, likely some very light snow over Wake County right now. Also watching for some possible precipitation to the south and west, closer to Sanford and areas back towards Moore, maybe Montgomery County, seeing some very light snow as well. So I've been watching radar very, very closely because you have this weak system moving in. It's this warm front that'll glide across central North Carolina. And with that, we've got some areas of very, very light snow or flurries possible this morning. The best chance for that is going to be to our north, but we're already seeing some a little bit further south this morning towards Wake County. Morrisville, Apex, and over Raleigh might see some very, very light snow or some flurries. But again, this is looking very light. You can see in our meter here, the rain, when it gets in that green, light blue category, it's very, very, very light. So a couple of flurries possible, not going to be impactful for your commute this morning. We've seen a bit more to the north, but that's since been kind of fizzling out, but we could still see some more in our northern spots. We'll talk more about, again, how long this lasts and also when very frigid air arrives. That's coming up.
All right, thank you, Grant. New this morning, a man was killed in a crash in Nash County. Authorities have identified 25-year-old Evan Mills as the person who passed away. They say he was driving on Taylor's Store Road around 11:45 last night. That's when the car ran off the road and overturned. We will bring you any new details about this crash as we learn more. The UNC Rex nurse accused of sexually assaulting at least 2 patients could be facing more charges. A third victim has come forward since Brian Alvarez Ortiz's first appearance in court yesterday. Investigators say Alvarez Ortiz sexually assaulted at least 2 patients while they were sedated. Raleigh police tell us the victims were recovering from surgery at the time. UNC Rex has since fired Alvarez Ortiz. Dr. Michael Sindoni is an attorney and an anesthesiologist who has dealt with cases like this before. He says patients in hospitals are vulnerable and hospitals need to be on top of what their personnel are up to.
They're not always conscious. They may not always know what kind of care they're receiving. So they rely on the hospital to have a whole body of people in place to make sure the care is safe.
Alvarez Ortiz will be back in court on December 31st. Raleigh police are asking anyone else who believes that they have been victimized to come forward. You can find the phone number for the reporting line on your screen. You can also visit our website. That's WRAL.com. Carytown leaders are getting lots of negative feedback after tax money went to subsidize a council member's master's degree. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey outside Town Hall this morning. Kelsey, the town manager is suspended, but leaders say it's not related.
Yes, Michelle, this morning we're staying on top of what's happening here inside Carytown Hall. We're following up on a story that we first told you about earlier this week. Last night, town leaders got an earful from people about taxpayer dollars being used to subsidize a council member's master's degree. Financial records show the town paid $37,000 towards Mayor Pro Tem Lori Bush's degree, and she did pay that money back. Emails obtained by WRAL show Bush did not request the tuition support. They show that suspended town manager Sean Stagel initially brought up the program. Bush says she confirmed with the town manager, HR, and legal that tuition reimbursement was permissible. She added that she did not find out the proposal was not offered to all council members until after the fact. The town says Stagel's suspension is not related to this incident. So this morning, we're asking the question, well, if the suspension was not related to this, well, then what was it about? And we've reached out to Stagel multiple times. We're still waiting to hear back. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
And this morning, we are working to learn who was killed after being hit by a car in northern Wake County. It happened last night at the intersection of Durham Road and Peed Road. The Highway Patrol has not released any information about the people involved. We will update you when we learn more. New this morning, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador earlier this year, is back home with his family. He was released from an immigration detention facility in Pennsylvania just before 5:30 last night after a judge ordered that he should be set free immediately. Garcia has been at the center of a case that has spotlighted President Trump's hardline immigration policies. The Trump administration repeatedly claimed that Abrego Garcia is a member of the MS-13 gang. He denies that accusation. Students at a high school in Winston-Salem are returning to class today for the first time since a stabbing. Investigators in Forsyth County say the stabbing happened after an altercation between friends. The district attorney says the 18-year-old who survived that stabbing was trying to wrestle the knife away from his friend.
These two young men knew each other very well. Rode the school bus together, had a conversation that morning, talking to each other. They were friends, which makes this even more of a tragedy.
O'Neill called the incident an accident and that the student had the right to defend himself. Investigators say the whole thing started over a THC vape pen. The former Michigan football head coach is due in court today where he will address the charges against him. Sharon Moore is in custody after being arrested on Wednesday. Police say they arrested Moore as part of an assault investigation at a home. At this point, no charges have been filed. Moore was also fired after Michigan leaders accused him of having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. It's not clear if the potential charges are related to his firing. The race in North Carolina's 4th congressional district is getting more crowded. Durham County Commissioner Nita Alum is entering the race. She is challenging incumbent Congresswoman Valerie Foushee in the Democratic primary. Alum has been an elected official in Durham County since 2020. She previously ran for this seat back in 2022.
We have representation that stays quiet in moments when we need our voice in Washington to be the loudest, that avoids conflict while our community asks for fighters.
And Foushee released a statement saying, "I am proud of the legislation I have supported, the votes I have taken, and the services my office has provided to constituents." The primary is in March. A candidate for state senate says he is not going anywhere despite President Donald Trump endorsing his opponent. Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page is running against Senate leader Phil Berger. Earlier this week, the president signaled his support for Berger, but Page says he is still staying in the race. Page says instead of an endorsement, Trump called him earlier this month offering a job in Washington.
I appreciate the offer and the opportunity to come and work in Washington, but I believe I can be more effective and in a better capacity working with people directly in the district.
The endorsement comes weeks after Berger led the state's effort to redraw congressional districts. It's a strategy pushed by Trump to help Republicans keep control of the U.S. House in the midterms. Today, North Carolina Central University is hosting its 146th annual fall commencement ceremonies. They'll be held at McDougald-McLendon Arena on the campus on NC Central. The first ceremony starts at 9 o'clock for graduate, professional, and doctorate students, and the second is at 2 p.m. for all undergrads. And looking ahead, UNC Pembroke is holding their fall commencement ceremonies tomorrow. They'll be in the main gym at the Jones Athletic Center. The first ceremony starts at 8:45 with doors opening at 7:30. The second starts at 6:45 p.m. with doors opening at 5:30. Congratulations to all the future graduates. This morning, the Carolina Panthers are in first place in the NFC South, and that's because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost last night. The Atlanta Falcons came back from 14 points with less than 14 minutes left in the game in Tampa Bay. The Falcons won on a 43-yard field goal as time expired. The final score 29-28. The Buccaneers are now a half game behind the Panthers for the division lead. And the Panthers will have a chance to extend their lead this weekend as they push for the playoffs. Carolina will be in New Orleans this Sunday to play the Saints. Kickoff is scheduled for 4:25. You can watch that game on Fox 50. It is the second part of an NFL doubleheader on Fox on Sunday. It starts with the Las Vegas Raiders against the Philadelphia Eagles at 1 p.m. And then after the Panthers game, there's Sunday night football action on NBC. The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Kickoff for that game is 8:15 on WRAL. A home explosion. At least 6 people are recovering this morning. The scary blast after work crews struck a gas line. And an AI order, President Trump unifying rules about artificial intelligence, the other topics he spoke about at the signing event. Plus, we are seeing some flurries. This is a look in Raleigh this morning. You see some of those snowflakes coming down. Just ahead, the cold temperatures we are tracking this morning.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
Well, some very light flurries falling right now. Here's Dual Doppler 5000. You can see the very light precipitation over Wake County right now, maybe a little bit more just south of Sanford, but most places are dry and will stay cold throughout this morning. Here's a live look from Raleigh this morning. It looks pretty quiet. You're going to have a lot of stubborn cloud cover that will continue through much of the day today. Temperatures sitting in the 30s, so a chillier start than yesterday morning, right at freezing at Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, 30 in South Hill, and in Roxboro, Raleigh, Durham at 33 degrees, Fayetteville sitting at 36 degrees to start today. And that's around, again, 10 degrees cooler for a lot of spots compared to yesterday morning. Temperatures will reach the mid-40s in the afternoon, so not warming up very much thanks to a lot of stubborn cloud cover. Coming up in a bit, I'll let you know when temperatures will drop to the teens with wind chills in the single digits. It's coming up.
Oh, boy. All right. Thank you, Grant. At least 6 people are recovering after a home explosion in California. The explosion was caught on Ring doorbell cameras. Take a look at this. My goodness, you can see debris sent flying into the air, even landing on nearby construction workers that were running away. The force of the blast ripped through multiple buildings, eventually sparking a fire. This happened early yesterday in Hayward near San Francisco. Some neighbors say the explosion woke them up. Others say that they were lucky to escape the debris falling on their homes.
I could sleep through anything, and it woke me up. And it was a big boom, and the house jumped, literally jumped.
My roof collapsed on me. And I was in bed. My husband was bringing me coffee, bless his heart. And the whole entire roof in my bedroom. I honestly thought it was the big earthquake on the Hayward Fault.
Oh, my goodness. Fire officials say the blast was triggered after a work crew member struck an underground gas line around 7 a.m. 2 hours later, crews were able to turn off the gas in the area, but that explosion still happened. The cause remains under investigation. I don't know if you have seen this yet, but look at this video. A scare in the air, all caught on camera. A skydiver's parachute deployed early. He was caught on the plane's tail, dangling 15,000 feet above the ground. The new video comes out after the accident a few months ago in Australia. That stuck diver was able to grab his knife and actually cut through all 11 lines of the backup parachute in 50 seconds.
How crucial was it for everyone to remain calm under pressure here?
Well, most definitely for the parachutist involved. There's a lot of options in front of you. Choosing the right ones is not always as easy as it sounds.
The diver was able to use his main parachute to get down safely. The pilot then declared a mayday call and successfully landed the plane. The diver only had minor injuries and has since recovered. Oh, my goodness. I wonder if he's going to go again. He probably will, because that's what people do. They don't give up after that. But that is so scary. Well, President Trump signed an executive order standardizing guidelines for AI. Now, the order limits states' availabilities to regulate AI, but it also prevents all 50 states from having 50 different rules. The president also took questions about topics, including action in Venezuela.
If you look at the drug traffic, Drug traffic by sea is down 92%. And we'll start that on land, too. It's going to be starting on land pretty soon.
President Trump also spoke about Democrat redistricting efforts in Indiana. He also said a deal with Russia and Ukraine is, quote, very close. Well, one of the year's best meteor showers will peak this weekend. We're talking about the Geminid meteor shower starting on Saturday night and into Sunday morning. It'll be on full display. You'll see the most meteors around 2 a.m. Sunday morning if you want to wake up for that. But if you can't, you should still be able to catch a pretty good sky show anytime after dark on Saturday. Those meteor showers, always so cool to see. Well, right now, we're not seeing that. We're seeing a few flurries in the area. Meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Flurries, it's cold out there. It's Friday. It's all good.
Yes, very, very exciting to see just a few flurries this morning. Here's some video sent in by our photographer, Charles. You can see just a little bit of snow there. It's very, very light, though. That's basically what you're going to see throughout this morning. It's not going to be impactful snow, but just a little bit of flurries, maybe some very light snow up towards the North Carolina-Virginia border. I think the best chance to see any accumulation will be towards the North Carolina-Virginia border this morning. We're just as dusting as possible, but again, not going to be super impactful. A brief warm-up on Saturday, highs in the 50s and 60s tomorrow, so the roller coaster just continues. And then you can see, well, the drop-off on the roller coaster into Monday. It's going to be frigid Monday morning. We'll talk about those lows coming up in just a little bit. We'll start with Dual Doppler 5000. I'll show you right now where we're seeing some of that light snow. It's going to be closer to the Wake-Johnston County border there, so closer to Clayton. You might see a couple of flurries right now. Also just south of Sanford, maybe a couple of flurries. In southwestern Harnett County, might see a couple, but it's very, very light, and it won't last very long. You can see, zooming in on Wake County, we had some just a little bit ago, but it's since moved to the east. Might see a couple of flurries over Raleigh right now, but again, this is not going to be very, very impactful. It's just some very, very light flurries or snow. Fenton and Cary, you can see the stubborn clouds continue, otherwise very quiet, looking very festive there. 33 in Raleigh, 36 in Fayetteville, 32 Rocky Mount, 33 in Durham right now. And by this afternoon, very similar to yesterday, with all the stubborn cloud cover, it'll stay cooler, temperatures only reaching the 40s. A cold start to next week. After a warm-up Saturday, 42 on Sunday, 38 on Monday. And you see for the Durham Christmas parade, we'll sit in the 40s for much of that. Plenty of sunshine. But then once that main front passes on Sunday, we'll talk more about those rain chances coming up in our next half hour. But we'll get some isolated showers in our southeastern spots. And then by Monday, look at this, low of 16 degrees. It's going to be frigid Monday morning, and then wind chills will sit in the single digits across our area. We'll talk more about that chilly air to come, but it's going to be cold to start next week, but even cold out there this morning, starting around 30 degrees.
All right, thank you so much, Grant. Behind the scenes, Swifties are excited today. The new docuseries showing the making of the Eras Tour. Plus, humanoid robots. Yes, a summit today shows off some major tech advancements, developments for schools and hospitals. A sneak peek at the upcoming Supergirl movie and some things tailor-made for Swifties dropped on Disney+. Douglas Hyde has that and more in your Hollywood Minute.
Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well for you guys.
We're getting our first look at Supergirl, and she does like to party. A new trailer shows Superman's cousin knocking back shots and knocking down bad guys. House of the Dragon's Millie Alcock stars as the superpowered heroine. Supergirl flies into theaters next June.
We had to be all hands on deck to put in a brand new era into the show.
Swifties can now enjoy 2 new tailor-made things on Disney+. The first 2 episodes of The End of an Era just debuted on the streamer. The 6-part docuseries gives an in-depth behind-the-scenes look at the Eras Tour. And if that weren't enough, a concert film about the tour's final show is now up on Disney Plus as well.
Hey! I got it! What? Get behind me.
Quint might not have survived Jaws, but his fishing rod and harpoon gun have. The entertainment auctioneer Prop Store is auctioning off the items in March. The props might take a big bite out of your wallet, though. The gun is expected to go for up to $500,000, and the fishing rod as high as $150,000. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
That's an expensive fishing pole. All right, well, today's showcase of robotics is underway in California, from bionic hands with Medicare approval to robots built for schools and hospitals. The technology is moving fast. Making safe and regulated humanoids is a core mission of this summit. A Seattle-based company made a humanoid to assist teachers, nurses, and more.
Cody, what's the difference between labor robots and social robots such as yourself?
Great question. Labor robots are built to do specific physical tasks. Social robots, like me, focus on communicating, helping people learn, and building relationships.
The summit started yesterday and runs all day today. The presenters all have a goal of making life easier for people through robotics. The Powerball lottery jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing will break the $1 billion barrier. If someone wins the jackpot this Saturday, it will be the 7th biggest grand prize in Powerball history. The cash payout option, $461 million. You can watch the drawing live on WRAL tomorrow night, right before our 11 o'clock news. Well, coming up, patients assaulted a third person has come forward with allegations. The UNC Rex nurse that could face additional charges. And tuition reimbursement concerns. Carry tax money went to fund leaders' education. Why this has angered community members.